Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today I'm going to give you the rundown of the flying stars for the month of the Metal Rabbit, which starts on March 5th and lasts until April 3rd. So you have here on the screen the monthly flying stars chart, and we're not really going to focus on the year stars. Yeah, we've discussed this earlier in the year. So I'm mostly focusing on the big numbers there that you see in all of these palaces. Those are the monthly flying stars. Yeah. So the best sectors in March or in the month of the Metal Rabbit are the south, the north, and the west. So let's start with the south here. The south sector has the number 8 flying stars, and that's usually considered a wealth star. And in this particular case, due to its position in the South Palace and in combination with the annual flying stars, it actually forms a combination that is very, very good for any type of financial planning, or if you are looking into consolidating your finances. So we're still considering the month of March as the beginning of the year, at least the Chinese year. So if you want to make a financial plan for the rest of the year and just have a look at your finances, your cash flow, plan for your expenses and whatever else is coming up in terms of finances, then I highly suggest you to do this in the south sector, because it gives you a clear picture of where you stand financially, and it also enables you to make a sound financial plan that's actually going to go well for you and be successful. Yeah, and that's the key here. Yeah, we don't just want to have a financial plan, but we want to have a successful and solid financial plan, and the south sector will help you with that. Now, the next sector we're looking at is the West sector, which has the monthly number 6 flying star. And this would be a good sector if you are planning for any type of career advancement. So maybe you're planning for a promotion, or you are planning to somehow increase your own value, then use the West sector. Now, what I mean by that is locate yourself in the West sector, whether that be at home or if you can at your office. And um, if you're working towards a promotion and you have to take phone calls or send emails with respect to this promotion, do it from the West sector, because you will get more recognition from your superiors. They will take notes of you, and you will likely get a salary increase if you do all the work that is related to this from the West sector. Um, then we've got the North. So the North, although throughout the year not such a great sector because of the annual number 2, however, in the month of the Metal Rabbit, Xin Mao month, we've got the monthly number 9 star, and that's a fabulous star. It is really, really good because it gives you inspiration, and it makes you much, much more sociable. It's also responsible for networking. It helps you with generally just happy events. So if you need to make a business deal, or if you arrange for a business meeting and you can somehow arrange it in such a way that you meet in the north sector, yeah, maybe put the meeting table in the north sector of your office, or maybe even at your home, then that would be great. If you have to discuss a deal with someone over the phone, then it doesn't really matter where the other person is, as long as you locate yourself in the north of your home. Yeah. And as always, this is very easy to determine. You just stand in the center of your home, you hold out a compass, and you check where all these directions are. Now, these three sectors are really the best for anything to do with finances, meetings, deal makings, or just advancing in your career. And therefore, I do suggest that you use these sectors actively and not just passively, which would mean you put a water feature there and hope for the best. Yeah, a lot of people think you can just place water there or a moving object and then everything will be fine. but the impact of just object placement is much, much more reduced when compared to placing yourself into the sector so you can absorb those energies. So really make use of these sectors. They are really, really beneficial, and we rarely see them in such a nice um, setup. Now, when it comes to relationships, the sector you have to be really careful about is the Northwest. So this one is a bit of a tricky one because we've got the monthly number 5. Now, for those of you who are familiar with flying stars, we always recommend to stay away from the number 5 because this is what we call the 5 yellow or the 5 calamity star. It brings a lot of problems, a lot of setbacks. And I would say if you have your master bedroom here, then be prepared that it may not be such a smooth month in terms of relationships. You may get into a lot of arguments over nothing. Yeah, so the best thing is to just not engage in those arguments and just let them slide. Yeah, discuss it in the following month, but don't get into any arguments this month, especially if you're a couple and your master bedroom is in the Northwest. So just um, stay out of tricky situations if you can. Now, what you should also avoid is any sort of big changes in the Northwest sector. Yeah, regardless of whether this is your master bedroom or your kitchen or your living room, doesn't matter, but we don't want to see any groundbreaking happening in this sector. Now, groundbreaking is defined as anything that disturbs the ground or the walls. So no hammering, no drilling, don't move any type of furniture around in the Northwest sector this month. Yeah, just leave it quiet and then you'll be fine. If your main door happens to be in the Northwest, I wouldn't worry too much because coming and going through the main door is essentially a routine activity. Yes, and routine activities are usually not impacted and affected by the 5 yellow. It's just activities that are not that are out of the ordinary, like hanging up a painting or doing some renovation work. That's not something you do every day. So be careful with that and just keep the Northwest sector as quiet as possible, as undisturbed as possible during the entire month of the metal rabbit. Now, when it comes to academic matters, we would be looking here at the Southwest with the monthly number 1. Now, this is an excellent area if you prepare for an exam, or if you have just taken up a new course and you need to study, or if there's any type of research that you need to do on a particular topic. It doesn't necessarily just pertain to school matters or academic matters. It could also be at work. Yeah, maybe you need to improve your skill sets, or you need to really dive deep into a particular topic in order to understand something, or you need to write a report. Then you can do this in the Southwest sector. It will help you focus, and you'll be able to achieve good results. Now, if your kids are being homeschooled at the moment because schools are still closed, then put them in the Southwest sector if possible, at least for some of the homework. And you'll see that they will get better results. They are able to focus better, concentrate better. And as a result, of course, their grades will improve as well. Now, let's move on to the problematic areas. Yeah, so the first one would be the Southeast. The Southeast has the monthly number 3, and we do usually call this the argument star, but this is also a star that often leads you to spend way more money than you would have otherwise. So if you spend a lot of time in the Southeast sector this month, you'll likely overspend. You may be spending money on things that you later realize you didn't really need. So it may lead to cash flow issues. So be very careful. As we mentioned earlier, the South is very good for financial planning. So please move yourself out of the Southeast when it comes to anything financial related and do it in the South instead, not the Southeast. If your finance department at your office happens to be located in the southeast, then this month really make sure that you go through all of their calculations, you double and triple check everything, because small mistakes are likely and they will lead to bigger expenses later on. Now, because the number 3 is also associated with arguments and disagreements, it could also lead to disagreements with your staff, with your employees. Yeah, if we're talking about an office setup. If we're looking at a home, then again, you may experience some upsets with your family members if you spend a lot of time in the southeast. Yeah, if you're just there for half an hour each day, that's not a problem. But let's say you spend a good amount, like 2-4 hours per day in the southeast, then you're probably going to be a little bit more argumentative than usual. And this is not really going to contribute to a harmonious family relationship this month. Now, obviously, you can control it by just holding back whenever you feel your blood boiling. Yeah, it's usually just related to a monthly energy that just makes everything a little bit uneasy. Now, then we've got the East. So the East here is what is host to the annual or the monthly sickness star, monthly sickness or illness star. So here you got to be careful, especially when you have a chronic disease and you're sleeping in this sector, you may be feeling a little bit unwell. So we usually recommend to stay away from this area if you are either someone who is prone to illnesses, has a very low immune system, if you're an elderly person, or if you suffer from a chronic issue. Yeah, so then you really have to be careful. Now, if you happen to be pregnant, please also be careful. We do not recommend that you sleep in the East during this particular month. So if there's any option to sleep anywhere else, that would be much, much better, especially if you're in the first trimester. Now, for all those of you who are healthy, you don't have any health issues, you can safely use the East sector. It will not cause you a big amount of illness or disease or whatever. You may get a cough, you may get a sore throat, or you may get a headache. Yeah, that's it. So please don't be too alarmed. I know nowadays everybody's thinking about COVID and do I get it or not. If you're anyway healthy, don't worry too much about the East sector. Yeah, just if you have anything chronic, if you're an elderly person, or if you are pregnant right now, then please, for the month of March, maybe consider sleeping somewhere else. And then finally, we've got the Northeast sector here with the number 7 monthly star. Now, this again can bring disagreements. It can also bring fire hazard. So if your kitchen is located in the Northeast, then just be very careful, especially if you have a gas stove where you have an open flame. Be a little bit careful with that. Other than that, I wouldn't say the Northeast is too bad. We don't worry too much about the monthly number 7. It does bring some disagreements, some stress maybe, but I wouldn't say that this is too bad. You don't have to worry too much about it. If your main door is located in the Northeast, then I would say make sure that it's always locked, because the number 7 can bring an increased risk of theft or of losing important items. Yeah, so make sure that your security systems are in place and always turned on. So this is the Flying Stars update for the month of March, month of the Metal Rabbit, which starts March 5th and goes all the way to April 3rd. And again, if you want to take advantage of all the positive sectors, then please do place yourself in those sectors rather than just activating them with some water and then hoping for the best. It's always good if you can tap into the energies directly and make use of them yourself. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My contact details are in the notes below, and I wish you all a really good month of the Metal Rabbit.